Hello. Today we want to do this a bit differently. We have a short reflection today, but unlike every day, yeah, I think that's a better angle. So it's 7 a.m. Forgive the grogginess. Just had to challenge myself to do this one live. Because I was out doing airport runs yesterday and I did not do my upload routines, but that's not an excuse to not drop a video, right? We are full of those excuses today. So I've decided to have the reflection on life rather. And today I'm reflecting on the words of David Goggins, who is someone who really inspires me for a lot of reasons. Just his own journey of life, how real and raw he is, a bit scary sometimes, but impactful. Sometimes the biggest lessons do not come from those cute little sugar-coated messages. They come from someone pulling back all the curtains and delivering it in a way that cannot be ignored. And that's a bit how his message comes across for me. So I'm just gonna share this and I will be with you. Hello, Claudia, how are you doing? Welcome to my life. Hi, Azza. How are you doing? Where are you watching from? So we're going to have a reflection around these words of David Goggins and really seeing how accountable we are for our own journeys. If you want something, how far do you go for that thing? We all want happiness. We all want peace. We all want joy. We all want riches. We all want these beautiful things in our lives. But I think his message is, what are you doing? How far are you willing to go? And specifically, it's for peace. So you want peace in your life? How far will you go? And he says that for you to have peace in your life, that internal peace, you have to be willing to go to war with yourself. And I was thinking, wow, that actually makes so much sense. Like, what does going to war with yourself for peace mean then? It just means holding yourself accountable. Like, what is your own contribution to that peace that you seek? What is your own action? What is your own routine? What is your own investment to get those outcomes that you desire? What is your own footprint towards those things? And that's what I want to discuss with you now. Just really having that quick discussion and accountability to see what we want versus what we do to get those things that we want, what we invest, and how seriously, how consistently we follow up those investments so that they can actually be yielding, be meaningful, without just going, oh, I'm so upset with myself. I'm so upset with them. I'm so frustrated with life. If you want peace in your life, what is your own contribution? Okay, what are you doing that can be helpful to give you that peace? What is your own self-care routine so that you can be healthy, so that you can be happy? What do you do with your own connections, because we all know that if your connections are faulty, if your connections are broken, if your investment in those connections is not real and meaningful, if you're not seeing the joy for what it is and appreciating it, if you're taking it for granted, if you're not seeing the toxicity for what it is and minimizing it, then how are you seeking that peace in your life? How are you going to sustain or even get that peace in your life, let alone sustaining it? To get peace in your life, you have to go to war with yourself. Look at yourself. Look at what you're saying versus what you're doing, what you're contributing versus what you're receiving. How are you cultivating that peace in your life? Not just as a one-off, but in a way that you can sustain it. And in doing that, impact other people's lives by those actions that are meant to be meaningful to you. Okay, what is your spirituality? Is spirituality even important to you? What are you doing in terms of that practice to build on that peace for yourself? Hello, Finlay. Thanks for joining. Okay, what are you doing to make sure that your soul is at peace from your own action internally before you can seek that external peace? Because we all know that it's very easy for us to go seeking, to go searching, to go knocking, to go blaming, to go really distancing and feeling that guilt and overwhelm, blaming ourselves, blaming other people, blaming the environment. And a lot of the times there are external reasons that affect our lives and abilities to be happy. But there's also always internal reasons. And even if you've done nothing wrong, when you find that peace inside, none of the other things outside can actually turn you upside down. There are a lot of people who are able to find this internal calm and stability even within the biggest storms in their lives, because they have cleaned their own homes, they have cleaned their own hearts, they've done their own soul searching, and they've really done those investments of things that are meaningful to them, so that even though life will always get chaotic, get upsetting, get traumatic, they are able to weather the storms because internally they are meeting their own needs. They have found their own peace. They are providing their own comfort. They have cultivated their own happiness. When you are the champion, when you are the driver, when you are in charge of your own happiness and peace and activities and routines, then you are in control of your life. And you can command things, you can resolve things, you can manage challenges without necessarily breaking down in the face of those challenges because of difficulties that are being given to you or that are coming from the external parts of your life. Okay, how do you manage your emotions? What is your resilience? How are you able to cope with the ongoing things in your life without running, without panic, without just giving up and going, oh, I'm dead, I'm dead. Like, as human beings, when we embark on challenges, we just panic, we run, we freeze, or any other things. But if you have been able to work on yourself, to find the strategies, to go to platforms, to learn, do your own self-development, do your own healing, so that you're not persistently triggered by things that you experienced in the past. Really go through emotionally and take yourself to a place of emotional stability so that when you encounter those challenges, those triggers, those difficulties, you don't run for the hills. You don't scare to have conversations, to challenge people. Hello, Miss Buddy. Thank you for watching. Okay. If you encounter even friendships or family conversations that are worth having, but you're scared of having because you don't want to upset the status quo, because you're scared that if you have those conversations, you ruffle some feathers. Some people may fall out of love with you. You will lose popularity. You will lose your position in that network, that friendship. Then you're going to potentially let people persistently minimize you, insult you, dismiss you without really being able to stand there and have the conversation as to how their actions and decisions and words impact you. So, what is your own role that you're playing to ensure that there is that peace in your life? And sometimes that role is not always peaceful. It means holding some people accountable. That can be challenging. That can lead to fallouts. That's you going to war to make sure that your relationships are meaningful, to make sure that you're not necessarily attacking people, but you're having conversations to say, you didn't come through as promised. You keep letting me down, even though I do everything on my part to come to you. You're not pulling your own weight in this relationship, and that's starting to show. And I don't like that. Sometimes we have to work hard to make our relationships meaningful. We can't just let people do as they please in our lives and expect us to love them as they want us to love them. But the job is on you. The responsibility and accountability are on you, because at the end of the day, you're the one wearing the shoe that hurts. So, what are you willing to do to go to war on that front to improve things in those connections? Okay, those attachments. How connected are you? How detached are you? A lot of us put on so many walls around us, but we want love without that vulnerability. We want love without that showing up meaningfully, without showing our true, authentic selves to the other person. You're hiding, but wanting to be seen. And that's you going to war meaningfully to improve those relationships by actually deciding that for you to be known, you have to be seen, you have to be heard, you have to be understood. You have to show up exactly as who you are so that you can be seen for who you are. And if you align with them, then that relationship or love or connection is going to be truthful, honest, and meaningful. But if you are connecting by showing up as who you are not, then you may be liked in that instance until you're forced to keep pretending, or until they see the real you and decide that actually you're not for them. And those are the things that you have to be comfortable with within yourself, unveiling those ugly, truthful, and honest parts of you that may be very scary. But that's how deep and honest you have to go to connect meaningfully. Those are the wars that you have to wage with yourself, not other people, in some cases, to grow as an individual, to show up honestly and authentically. And I just wanted to have this reflection with you, because when I heard those words that for you to find peace, you have to go to war with yourself, it just resonated with a lot of things that we want, but we are not showing up in a way that helps us to get those things. And that's because life is difficult. Our emotions rule us sometimes when we are angry, when we are in pain, when we hate things that people have done to us. Our inclination is to be vengeful, to be hateful, to actually go the extra mile and give to them what they've given to us. But if you're a peace seeker, if you're a love seeker, if you're a joy seeker, what's that retaliation gonna do to you? What's that revenge gonna do to you? And that's how you learn to manage things, to be in control, so that you can fight yourself constantly, fight the emotions, fight that instinct to pay back, fight that instinct to be lazy and cuddle up in bed, fight that selfishness that makes us to not want to give away things, but wanting to receive, wanting to connect, wanting to be loved and present and popular without doing what is necessary to actually get those meaningful connections and love and popularity in your life. So I just wanted to Calm Life, and this is my first live on this channel, by the way. So hopefully this has impressed on me to occasionally mix up my videos with live shows, because I could have had this message in a 3 minutes recorded message, but I wouldn't have potentially met you, Claudia or Azal or Flynn, Miss Bado, all of you who have popped in and out because of this live. You're very welcome and appreciated. My name is Aso Kone. I am a social worker. I do mindset healing and empowerment videos based on my profession, based on my experiences, and based on just messages like this that I hear whilst reading a book or listening to an audio book that really impacts me. Like, to find peace, you have to go to war with yourself. And I thought that's something worth reflecting on, because a lot of us think that peace is quiet, peace is peaceful, peace is not saying the wrong thing, not crossing people the wrong way, not upsetting people, not challenging people, not pushing ourselves, not hurting ourselves. But that's not what peace means. Peace means digging the gutters and clearing the dirt that will stop stinking around you. You have to go to work. You have to go to war. You have to sustain some bruises and some pain whilst you cultivate and go to work and work hard and dig to eliminate the things that are thorns in your life. And sometimes that digging happens in your life with your own routines, with your own connections, with your own habits, with your own emotions, to really see what you do and what impact that has on you. And when you can start that cultivation with yourself, you will be better, you will heal, you will grow, you will overcome your own challenges and triggers and difficulties. And you will be strong enough to go away and have those conversations with other people without reacting, without aggression, without being triggered and lashing out. You'll be able to respond appropriately. And in doing so, you'll be able to have more meaningful connections with those people. So, so that's the message that I just wanted to share with you this morning. Peace starts from within and then goes outwards, and actually impacting other people when they see how you embody you, when they see how you respond to difficulties, when they see how you respond to their own shortcomings and their own challenges. They listen and they learn and they respect, not because you yelled, not because you revenged or retaliated, but because they said something rude, dismissive, discriminatory, and you took it and you held it and you said it back to them in a way that taught them a lesson, not dismissed or insulted or disrespected them. So hopefully, we already know these things, to be honest, but sometimes we need these reminders. We need these reminders so that we can actually see it from a different angle, hear it from a different person, hear the words worded like David Goggins in these little words, saying that to find peace, sometimes we have to wage war. And the best wars that we can wage are those that we wage to ourselves, because we are going to have to sit with ourselves and look into those accountability mirrors and those responsibility tasks and actually see how far we are pushing ourselves, how much we are operating within our capabilities and abilities, how well we elevate ourselves and learn for ourselves. We want to grow, we want to be rich, but are we getting the knowledge, the confidence, and the action that will enable us to reach those heights in our life? All of those answers lay within us, and all of those come by us pushing us, challenging us, holding ourselves accountable to what needs to be done so that we can achieve those goals in our lives. And then once we are stable on our own feet, we can impact and influence other people, because we have our own moral compass, we have our own work ethic. And in doing so, we can move communities and move families and networks to better places by first of all, becoming better. So thanks for watching. Have a lovely day. And I really, really appreciate you, especially the new people who have joined me off of this message. Thank you.